Okay, here we go. Hour number 2 already on Tuesday night. David Oates is sitting by down there in Australia. Oh, poor Australia. David, welcome back. How are things down there? I know you don't go out much. How are you doing personally?
Oh, I'm doing all right. Yeah, I'm doing fine. Ever since you told me to install those little devices in my house, I've been great. So there you go.
Good. It really did make a difference. Good.
Absolutely. As far as Australia is concerned, well, I don't know what's going on here now. Australia's, we were opening all our borders in our states and international borders, but now Australia's gone all paranoid over this new Omicron variant. I don't know much about it, but
it's total BS, David. It's crap. It's just fear mongering. It's fear porn. There's nothing to it. It doesn't matter if it's a variant. It's all crap.
Yeah. Right. Well, I'm not the least bit surprised to hear that. But they're talking about closing borders again and telling everyone to go and get a booster shot. And it's like, gee whiz, what are you guys doing? Crazy. Anyway, so that's the latest in Australia. So I've been doing a bit of work the last 3 or 4 days.
It's about time.
Yeah, right. I've been doing a huge data dump on YouTube. And I must have posted about 30 videos in the last 3 or 4 days of evangelists and New Agers and politicians hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of reversals. So,
your comments must be piling up too, huh?
Oh, they are. Yeah, actually, you know what the most controversial video? I mean, I've posted the new ones on the Pope that I haven't played on your show before. You should look at them at some stage. The one on speaking in tongues. That's the most controversial one. Oh, that's going up in flames. Some Christians are extremely upset at me. So, there you go.
Wow. Well, you're doing what you're doing. You're having fun. You're shaking up the status quo with the truth. Isn't it? That's wonderful.
Yeah, I am. I'm just getting started. I'm just stretching my arms. I'm ready to make some serious damage here. Oh dear. Yeah, I got a workshop next weekend, not this weekend coming, the weekend after. If anyone's interested in learning more about reverse speech, it's a 3-day workshop, 6 hours a day. We've got 7 registrations already, which I'm pleased about, but there's still plenty of room. So, if you want to have 3 days of reverse speech, I'll be covering how to hear it and how to recognize what's genuine, what's projection, and what do they mean, and covering the history. And I'll be playing, obviously hundreds of reversals, and I'll be doing reversals on the participants who come to the workshop. We'll do if you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. I'm not going to force anyone to bare their soul. But, so it's the first time I've ever held something like this. And so I think it's a marvelous opportunity for anyone who really wants to dabble their feet in the water without jumping in and taking training.
I think it's a brilliant idea. You don't have to have people sign up for a long, extensive course. You can tease them with the truth and the dynamic potential of this incredible technique you have.
Yeah, so that's exactly right. So if you just want to dabble your feet in, email me backwards@reversespeech.com. Exactly as it sounds, BACKWARDS @reversespeech. And speech is spelt with a double E. Be amazed the number of people who spell it SPEACH. Anyway, double E, speech.
It's one of those words that actually probably will end up with both spellings being acceptable. I wouldn't be surprised.
Probably. Yeah. Anyway, so there we go. Backwards@reversespeech.com if you want to participate in this. The first time I've ever done it. So we'll send, like I said, seven registrations so far. So I'm pleased. Okay,
excellent.
What's on? While I've been busy uploading YouTube videos, I've also been doing some reversals as well on some people. And, but look, before I do that, I'm going to start off by playing reversals that were found by one of my students. Or no, it's not fair to call him a student. He's actually a graduate. He's a reverse speech analyst, and he submitted some reversals on Klaus Schwab from The Great Reset, and what am I looking for? I'm trying to find it. So yeah, okay. And okay, here it is. Here, okay. This chap's name is Chris Garcia. He's the analyst. So all credit goes to him for the reversals I'm about to play. So and then we'll get on to some of the stuff I found this week, which is all very interesting too. Okay, reversal number 1. Here we go.
All those organizations were created in Davos. So we know that the next crisis may come on us.
Okay, so this is about the Great Reset, okay? And the very first reversal says, warn you.
Warn you. Warn you. Warn you.
Okay, so that's the very first one. We hear a warning. Okay.
So, I think that is such a definitive reversal. Would you quickly play the first again? I think we need to hear this and think about it. Play the forward and the back. That's a good one.
Okay, so here's the forwards.
All those organizations were created in Davos. So we know that the next crisis may come on us.
Yeah. We know certain what may come on us. Let's play that again.
So the next crisis.
Certain what?
I think he's talking about something crisis. Something crisis.
So we know that the next crisis may come on us.
Right, he's trying to say crisis. It's his accent. And warn you.
Warn you. Warn you. Warn you.
Right there. Okay. It's interesting that his reversal is almost without any accent. It's a real distinct and almost intense warn you. He speaks, it's congruent. He's saying crisis and forward, and in reverse he's saying warn you. He's not playing games.
No, he's not. Okay, here's the next one I'm going to play.
Our work in the forum will be very much determined by an effort to create new ideas, to present those new ideas at the annual meeting 21.
Here he says, is that sane?
Is that sane? Is that sane? Is that sane?
That's interesting.
I know. I'm not too sure what he's talking about forwards. A great reset, he is, but is that sane? That's, so we have a warning. And we have a expression of doubt. Okay,
that's a crystal clear warning too. And it's not that. Let's be straight. We don't think he's the guy up in the control room pulling the actual switches and pushing the buttons, but he knows what's planned. He's in the planning cabal that's running this whole show, so of course he knows.
Of course he knows. Yeah, and that's what he's doing. He's unconscious. He's warning us. Hey, warn you guys, is this sane? All right? And then he says this.
As you know, the forum is a community of communities, big global stakeholder communities.
Then he says, hang on, I played the wrong one. Sorry. I'm sorry. Now, here we go.
Let's say global challenges which we have. Related to your first question, yes, I already integrated it into my answer. It's necessary to have a very open approach.
Necessary to have a very open approach. Backwards kill you. So what have we got? We've got a warning. We've got an expression of doubt. Is this sane? And then we've got kill you.
That's called genocide, David.
Yes. You're absolutely
World
genocide.
Global genocide.
All right. Well, hey, I'm going to jump one. I'm going to jump a reversal. Seeing you said genocide, I'm jumping to about halfway down the list. Let's listen to this.
Skills can be best probably taught on a large scale by digital methods.
Lick Stalin.
Lick Stalin. Lick Stalin. Lick Stalin.
Jesus, that's not encouraging. What is he saying? He's going to outperform Joseph Stalin, who killed perhaps 100 million people? Yeah?
Yes.
Maybe 6 billion, huh? That would certainly give him the trophy. This is not good.
That's exactly what he's saying. That's exactly what he's saying. I mean, these are scary reversals. Okay. Then got this one. This is a bit benign, but I'll play it anyway.
I feel that the industry, if I make use of the word industry, most changing in the coming years is education.
Saying your muck, M-U-C-K.
Saying your muck. Saying your muck. Saying your muck.
In other words, what he's telling us is, well, muck. How do you describe muck? Not rubbish. It's concerning. It's dangerous.
It's a term for the content of what he's imparting, what he's spewing. I got it.
Right. I don't know much about the Great Reset, so this is all new to me.
Well, what it is, David, it's a complete financial takedown and reset of the planet. But that's not all. There's a whole hell of a lot more. All forms of economic endeavor are going to be changed. All forms of social interaction are going to be changed for those who are allowed to survive. We will have passports. I hate them. I mean, they're evil as hell. That's what they're pushing for. They will terraform the planet, I do believe, also climatologically and geologically. Certainly politically it has been torn down. We have no government here. You've got no government there. It's a joke. All we have to do is look around. Anyway, there's a lot more.
Yeah. Well, then you got this reversal.
People will have some kind of a tendency to prefer a rural environment again more to the, let's say, accumulation of people.
Okay, would be for fun.
Would be for fun. Would be for fun.
What?
Would be for fun.
Yeah, I know. If that's not what's the word I'm looking for?
Satanic.
Sadism, eh?
Satanic.
Yeah, that's a pretty good word. Sure, I'll buy that one. Yep. Then this one here. See, this one worries me too. This is the theme we've talked about before. I'll play it and we'll talk about it.
We have to make sure that particularly, that's one of the big worries, the refugee camps.
Zero give us, announce the seal.
Zero gives vanaf de ziel. Zero gives vanaf de ziel. Zero gives vanaf de ziel.
Okay, the seal, I think, goes back to the mark of the beast. Okay, the beast is the seal of the mark. Zero, I don't know what zero give us. I don't know what that means, unless it's some financial terminology. But anyway, yeah, they're the reversals on Schwab I wanted to play, and they don't paint a very good picture, do they?
No, so, we need to stay. And this is from one of your students, I understand.
Chris Garcia is his name.
All right, Chris, good job. Please, dear friends of Reverse Speech, stay on this Schwab guy. Don't let him get away. Everything he says needs to be reversed. And I don't know if you want to waste your time on Gates, who's more and more appearing as if he's a child with a severe case of arrested emotional and mental development. But I would certainly go after Schwab.
Okay,
for sure.
All right. Okay, I'll keep on his back. So, I played Gates last show, didn't I? I don't have to play him again. I lose track of what played.
The more I see the guy, the more he just babbles almost like somebody who hit the age of 14 and didn't progress beyond it.
That's probably right. All right. So I have some of my own personal stuff. This is still research from my book, Every Secret Hidden. I have a good one and a bad one. Which one do you want to hear first? The good one or the bad one?
The good one.
The good one. Okay. The good one is Deepak Chopra. Okay? So, nice to find some nice reversals on the spiritual guy. Because I tell you what, I have been getting totally sick to death of doing these evangelists. And I feel like I'm wading in the pits of hell. So,
Got it.
okay, where are we? Deepak Chopra. Oh, the first two reversals are really interesting. This tells you a lot about this guy. Okay, this is right when they're getting started. The film crew setting up. Okay, and they're just starting the interview. So, and it's a young guy who's interviewing. You know, he looked like he's in his mid-20s, I think. So here we go.
I was born immediately before India's independence from British colonialism. So I'm frequently referred to as one of Midnight's children. You'd know that phrase.
Yes. Okay. He says, they don't seem nourished, scanned him. Listen to this. They don't seem nourished, scanned him.
They don't nourished, scanned him. They don't nourished, scanned him. They don't nourished, scanned him.
You hear that?
Yeah.
So that's the first thing he said. Then as soon as he says that, he says this.
Coined by Salman Rushdie. Mm-hmm. So it refers to all of us who are kind of at the cusp of the old era of colonialism and independent India.
And then he says, I am milk.
I am milk. I am milk. I am milk.
Now, milk is a metaphor for nourishment. Okay?
He's nourishing the planet. He thinks he's a god.
Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. I'll tell you, yeah, well, maybe that's so. I kind of thought as it follows along from it, he didn't see the interviewer nourished. He was offering him nourishment. That's the way I
think there's a big ego there.
Okay, all right. Okay, fair enough. All right, next one. Here we go.
My father was, at that time, in England, training to be a medical doctor and then a cardiologist. God looking at me.
Oh, he says, God looking at me.
God looking at me. God looking at me.
There you go.
You got that?
Yep. He's okay. one of God's crew.
Well, that's
God
what
is
he's
looking
saying.
at him. Yeah.
And then we got this one.
He was brought back in a little bottle of ashes. And one of my uncles said, what is life? Here he was yesterday celebrating with the kids. And now he's a bunch of ashes in in that bottle.
And here he says, where is it? Here to seek soul.
Here to seek soul. Here to seek soul. Here to seek soul.
Okay, so we've got God looking at me. We've got here to seek soul. Okay. Then we've got this one.
David, this is Deepak Chopra again, right?
Yes. Deepak Chopra.
Okay. All right.
An interview he did this year. This is actually done a couple of months ago. So it's
got it.
So it's right up to date. Then we've got this one here.
Foreign something, Executive Council for Foreign Medical Graduates, that I could get a scholarship. Now, I had not even applied or thought for a scholarship, but I did the exams and I passed. And
it says, give it up, no pressure.
Give it up, no pressure. Give it up, no pressure. Give it up, no pressure.
Not too sure what it means by it, but it's nice and clear. Okay, then we've got next one here. Here we go.
what do I want for me and the world? What am I grateful for? That's how I start. Then I go into a little bit of breathing and then mantra meditation, and then
this one says, God source that door, but door's cut just a little bit short.
God source that door.
God source that door. God source that door.
Door. Cut a bit short. But you can see why I said this was a good one, though, Jeff, can't you? I mean, I can.
No, I got it. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly. A lot
Is this
better.
from you or your students again?
No, this is from me. This one. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, this is from me. You know, I'm doing all the spiritual ones.
Well, this book of yours is, when you get it done, is going to be a blockbuster, exposing all of these people.
Absolutely. I want a big publisher to pick it. I really don't know how to get a big publisher. Wish I knew how to do that. Anyway, we'll talk about that after the break.
Very good. Okay. Back with David in just a minute. Hold on. More reverse speech coming up. Okay, and we're back with David Oates. All right, David, how do you get the book published? How do you get a big publisher to pick it up? Good question. Good question.
I know. I've been trying for 30 years to get my books picked up by a big publisher. So, I don't know. You've got to have the contacts, I think. Yeah. Anyway, if anyone out there knows a big publisher, I have a lot of books I want published and distributed far and wide. Anyway, there we go. Okay, so we are looking at Deepak Chopra. Here's the next one.
So each yogasana is a particular seat of consciousness that stimulates a particular nerve that is going to organ in your body, and the only reason for that nerve is self-regulation or healing or homeostasis.
Now he uses the metaphor. The metaphor is the one, and the one is a metaphor for the divine spirit of God. So he says, I bless the one.
Bless the one.
Bless the one. Bless the one.
Huh.
And then we've got two more left.
So in all the spiritual traditions, not necessarily just the Eastern traditions, they speak of two worlds, the immanent and the transcendent.
Yeah, he says, mercy eats a dealer's sin.
Mercy eats a dealer's sin.
Mercy eats a dealer's sin. Mercy eats a dealer's sin.
Without knowing what it means by dealer, but he's basically saying that mercy overcomes sin. You know, mercy, I don't know what dealer is unless he's talking about a drug dealer, but that's not in context is what he's saying. But the verse basically means that mercy overcomes sin. To
forgive is divine, that's what he's saying.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, that's what I was looking for. To forgive is divine. That's exactly what he's saying. Yes. And here's the last reversal.
If you're able to observe a thought, then you, the observer, is not that thought, right? Mm-hmm. Similarly, the observer of the emotion, which is the awareness of an emotion, is not the emotion.
Agreed.
He says, show me gods in the showman.
Show me gods in the showman.
Show me gods in the showman. Show me gods in the showman.
I guess he's saying the showman, the stage of life. I want to see God in everything. I think that's what he's saying. Okay.
The show must go on.
Yeah. And God is in the show. There we go. Okay, so there we go. Good reversals on Deepak Chopra, I thought. Oh, good ones. Anyway, that's what I think.
Well, okay, he came across A hell of a lot better than the others.
Yeah.
We can say that for sure.
Now, when I was on we played, we'll go to the bad one now. We played the beginning of analysis I'd done on the Hillsong Church, Brian Houston, well-known church in America and Australia. He's got, over 50,000 members around. And I'd only just started my analysis, okay? And he seemed to be okay from what I found. But anyway, I continued on. Okay. And it wasn't so good. So, let me just
So this is the guy that, no, I remember this now. We talked and you said so far he's seemingly glued together fairly well. Not terribly, but
yeah.
Okay. Not bad.
Okay.
Reasonable.
Yeah, so I continued on. Okay. So here's the first reversal. I played this on your show already, but I'm going to play them all.
Well, right before COVID, around Australia, we had an attendance of 47,000 people coming to church every single weekend. So God's done the exceeding, abundant, and above anything we could ever ask or think.
It says, thank you, we'll miss, you're my judgment.
Heck, you will miss your business.
Okay, there's three different statements here. He's thanking the audience, the congregation, okay, but we'll miss. We're going to be off the mark. See, I didn't know what miss meant, but I found the other reversals, you see. I know what it means now. I thank you, you're my congregation, but we are off the mark, and I'm going to be judged by your actions, okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, one of his church elders was on one of Australia's best-known current affair program, as his building firm went bankrupt and he's ripped people off with millions of dollars, and he's one of the elders in this church. So that reversal.
Funny how many criminals hide behind God. Think about it.
I know. Oh, it's just horrible. Yeah. All right. Okay. So let's move on to this one. This was a fairly good one, I thought.
So it's always been grace, but because of Jesus, our sins will be remembered no more. Because of Jesus.
Here it says home run.
Home run.
Home run. Home run.
Okay. Now, see, these reversals all led me to believe he's fairly congruent, okay?
Yeah.
Then, this is the last one I'd found. This is where I was up to. I played this one and wasn't too sure what it meant, but I'm pretty sure I know now.
With liberality, there's a grace or a gift of giving in people's lives. And I'm going to talk a bit more about that in just a second.
The curse of Satan had thy Rome.
It has sufficient hath thy Rome.
It has sufficient hath thy Rome. It has sufficient hath thy Rome.
Okay, Rome is his church. That's his kingdom. That's his empire. Okay?
Right.
And so this is the first chink in his armor. Okay? See, I think he actually believes what he's doing. I don't think he's a out and right con like some of the other guys are. But he's fallen off the mark. And this reversal here tells us where he fell off the mark.
But if you become a heart leap type, understand there's a gift of giving, a grace on your life of giving.
It says fake when you're big.
Fake and heavy. Fake and heavy. Fake and heavy.
So what's happened to him? He's gotten big. He's no longer a little 100-member congregation. He's a 50,000-member congregation. Okay? So he's got big. So what's he doing now? He's doing this.
By grace you have been saved through faith. And that not of yourselves, but it's the gift of God. What is it? It's the gift of God. See, that's the thing. It's the gift of God.
He says, we fake his spirit.
We're faking it. We're faking it.
Whoops. Whoops.
Okay?
Whoops. You got a nose for this. You went after that. You're like a bloodhound. You knew there was something there. You got it.
Well, I couldn't let it go. So, anyway, we haven't finished yet. So
he's finished.
He's gone. Yeah, you're right. Unfortunately, that's actually the sad truth. Yeah. And here's the next one.
Father, in Jesus' name, I thank you for your grace on our lives. I thank you, Lord, that we can be people whose heart leaps at kingdom possibility. Help us, Lord, to be those people.
Your demon knows the lot.
Okay,
now we're getting pretty heavy and heavy duty now. Okay. Satan has Rome. He's got beaks, and now he's faking it. He's faking the Spirit of God with all his wonderful music and visuals and, rah, rah, rave, rave. Okay?
It's showbiz, David. It's just showbiz.
Right. Yeah, you got it. That's what's happened. He's moved from a genuine position, which is, I think, is how he started, and now he's gone off track because he's gotten big. Okay, so then we've got this reversal here, and it just kept on getting worse and worse as it went on.
well, on 3, you can raise your hand. And I'll say it one more time, you're not going to be the only person whose hand is raised. And then, as a big church family, we're going to pray a prayer of salvation.
Okay, he's given the altar call. Raise your hand if you want to come to Jesus. Backwards, I live with the conning now. Now is a little bit imprecise, but I'll live with the conning. Okay? And then he's looking around the audience. Sorry?
It pays well. Of course he's going to live with the conning.
I know, this guy's worth $12 million. I looked up his net worth. Okay? Million. So I thought I said billion. 12 million. Yeah, okay. So, and this is what he thinks of the people who are raising their hands.
And then, as a big church family, we're going to pray a prayer of salvation, and God's about to do something awesome in the lives of people.
They're stupid.
Are you putting together a whole section on your site of these reversals, or are you going to hold it until the book is ready?
Well, yeah, I'm holding it till the book is written. They're out on YouTube now. They are. You can go listen to them. But like the big con, I put a whole section on my site where every reversal in the book you can go and listen to. I'll be doing the same with this as well. Okay, so every reverse quote in the book you go. Now, just because you've heard the reversal doesn't mean you know what the book's about. You don't know what I'm going to write yet. I know what I'm going to write. Well, if you've been listening to me a while, you can get a fair idea what I'm going to write. So
this is going to be one of the most fun books you've ever written. I can tell.
I'm going to enjoy it. Okay, here's the last reversal on Hillsong, Brian Houston.
Everywhere you are, I can see hands in here. And that's not easy because I've got lights and it's dark, but I can see hands. And I'm excited because tonight's a life-changing night.
Okay, you know why it's a life-changing night for them? Because they have a part in the skull.
A part in the skull. A part in the skull. A part in the skull.
The death, the decaying. They're going to die. They're not getting born again. They're dying into a dead, dying church that's faking the Spirit of God. And they will indeed be his judgment, as he says in the very first reversal.
Okay, so let's wrap this up again, just a little quick summary. So far, to date, David Oates has found how many evangelical preachers who are legitimate, who are moral, who are honorable people?
Preachers? None. Now,
None.
I found a humble street preacher, but I wouldn't call him an
that's the only one. Okay. But he's not being flush with cash all the time, okay? So he's the only one. But all the rest of them, and they're all crooked, rotten, opportunists, and frauds.
Yes.
That's what you found. Yep.
Yes, that's what I found. Every single one I've looked at. Every single one. I haven't finished looking, but it's not good. I tell you, it's not looking good. The evangelical movement have got a lot to answer for. Listen, we got a bit of time. I found some new verses on the Pope. Okay.
That is, by the way, if I don't know how you feel, but that may be, well, Pope Benedict was pretty creepy, but this guy is really creepy too.
Oh, yeah.
I hope it's the last one. I'm tired of that whole cartoon show.
Well, the ones I played on your show were all about the molestation stuff, wasn't it? So, I don't
think about it. What has the Catholic Church been for nearly 2,000 years? Well, 1,500 years, whatever. It's been an organized sanctuary for the most hideous pedophiles probably imaginable.
Yes, it has been. It really has been. It has been. They should be so ashamed. And so
they have no morality. They're getting paid to be perverts too. Think about it.
And the Pope sits up there in his white robe and his beautiful cat, looking like the most holy, righteous man that you could live.
He doesn't look like that to me. But please go ahead.
All right, listen to. Okay, this is the representative for the Roman Catholic Church.
I am most grateful for your invitation to address this joint session of Congress.
Satan himself.
And business is good.
Business is good. Yeah, listen to this one.
I know.
I don't think I played these ones on your show. Some of them I have, but not all of them. I went back and did it again, you see.
That many of them are retired, but still active. They keep working to build up this land.
Okay, Roman Catholics, this is the spirit of your Pope speaking. Listen carefully. Satan is bad, live with me.
Satan is bad, live with me.
So Satan is bad, but he's living with him. Okay? Then
pretty creepy. Wow.
Okay, Roman Catholics, listen to this one. This is your Pope speaking. I hope you take notice of this.
We know that it's very difficult to judge the past by the criteria of the present.
Okay, we've got a conversation going on here. The one voice inside of him says, I raped the other kids. Yum. And then as soon as he says that, another voice inside of him says, stop it. So I raped the other kids. Yum. And then this other voice says, stop it.
I raped the other kids. Yum. Stop it. I raped the other kids. Yum. Stop it.
I raped the other kids. Stop it.
If that's not creepy, I don't know what I can play you that can be creepier than that.
No, that guy is. The first time I heard him speak, he makes your skin crawl. They're despicable people. Power corrupts absolutely, and there's a perfect example of it.
Now here he is. He described himself now. This is a new one too.
And this Congress have an important role to play. Now is the time for courageous action and strategies.
Okay, this is what the Pope, he's describing himself now. Reversal says, the Pope in the blank. The Pope in the blank. What do you say? I mean, what do you say to reversal like that?
Next.
No. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Okay, let's, oh, gee whiz. What can I play? I'd like to play this one. We'll play it.
Here we have to ask ourselves, why are deadly weapons being sold?
Roman Catholic, this is what the Pope is doing for you, okay? I will blank you.
Klaus, fuck you.
Man, is that clear. Jeez.
I know.
No quibbling over that. None.
None whatsoever.
No, he's straight from hell, this guy. He's on a mission.
He's straight from hell. His church is straight from hell. It's his doctrine's straight from hell.
Look at the history of pedophilia and child rape. Look at it. Yeah, and we see only 1/1000th of it probably ever in the media. And what we see in the media is enough to, if this were an American corporation, they probably should be disbanded. I mean, come on.
I know. Yeah, I'll play a couple more. I'm not playing all of them. I'm just pulling some out at random here.
The vast majority
Here he is in New York.
of the work done here is not of the kind that makes the news.
Bring in scam.
God, his reversals are very clear.
Aren't they? I know. No.
His forward speech is greasy and oily and almost mumbling, but his reversals are very sharp, very clear.
His spirit's making sure it gets its point across. Okay?
Yeah.
Here's the next one.
Wow.
Like so many other people worldwide, you are concerned about your children's welfare and education.
Repeat the lying in my skull.
Ah, jeez.
Like, if any Roman Catholics out there can hear these reversals and still want to follow the Pope, then I don't know what I can say to you folks. It's the same as anyone listens to my videos on speaking in tongues and you still want to go and do it. I mean, it's a bit like giving someone a loaded gun and saying, here, you pull the trigger, you're going to destroy that. Okay, so what do? They get the gun and pull the trigger. You just don't get it. It's the whole church, look, I haven't done all the denominations. I'm going to do them all. I'm going to get there. Like, I've done the Baptists. I did Robert Jeffrey. People said, well, you're just doing the televangelists. Of course, it's going to be wrong. Okay, so I'm moving into the regular churches now. Okay, I'm going to cover everything. But the modern church, I'm going to state this quite unequivocally with my year's research, the modern church does not represent Jesus. It does not follow Jesus' teachings. It is completely and utterly antichrist and an abomination to anything that Jesus ever taught. And they're leading their congregation straight to hell, exactly what Jesus told the church leaders in his time that they were doing. So, there you go. How's that for a statement?
Summed right up. You told the whole story right there in 1.5 sentences. That's it. It. These are vile, dark side, horrible organizations, and the people that staff them are walking devils and demons, and these little children who are sacrificed to them. This is amazing stuff. Well, I always knew it, you always knew it, but to hear it proven out with reverse speech it just brings it home even more, how evil organized religions are.
It's really scary. It really is. I've been shocked. I really have. I've really been shocked.
Well, I'm shocked. And you used to be David was a street. What would you call yourself when you worked back on the?
Well, I was a youth worker. I was a youth pastor. That's what I was.
Yeah, a youth pastor
in a Pentecostal church, by the way. Speaking in tongues and everything. I've been there.
You spoke in tongues?
I certainly did. Back in the day.
Really? Do we have any recordings?
No! I don't do it now, believe me. I stopped many years ago. No, I don't.
Wow. Well, that's interesting. I'd like to know more about that sometime.
Okay, we'll talk off air about that.
All right, my friend. In the meantime, you be careful down there. All right? I know you will be.
Yep. Thanks,
okay.
Jeff.
Thank you, David. Really good stuff. Yeah, thanks. And thanks to all your students out there who are pitching in. Great work.
Yeah.
All right. We will be back in just a few. Hang on.